without further ado, we are going to invite the next speaker. Next up, we have someone who has been leading charge with the strategic growth of expansion. So please welcome GC to share his update regarding MEX and also the M3 Foundation.
All right, our previous sharer LA has already shared some very exciting news with everyone. So there's a lot of things that you are going to be able to follow up with either your uplines or anyone from our entry down team. So I hope everyone gets ready to listen because we have quite a lot of information to share. So without further ado, let's talk about first the market situation. As always, every single one of our sessions, we make sure that you are also up to date with what is happening with crypto, and not only listening to about to entry stuff all day. You actually know what's going on. But the good news is that there isn't much going on in there isn't much going on in the crypto Bitcoin aspect of things. Not much big news. So this portion will be quite fast. Okay, so the reason why there isn't much going on is because right now in the market, basically 95% of the conversation and volume is about Bitcoin. And because it is Bitcoin, we are basically tied down to the news from the bigger financial platforms and also the stock markets and also Trump. So there isn't really any big breakthrough technology kind of news. We are quite stable right now in crypto and everything is looking really good. Okay, so on to the next point. This one is slightly bigger, this news. Bitcoin has actually entered the top 10 assets
Sorry,
across the whole world.
sorry, GC. I think you need to pause
Yes.
longer for Kelvin to translate.
Okay.
Maybe longer, yeah. So can you repeat what you said just now?
Okay, so now we are talking about Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has actually just entered the top 10 assets by market cap globally. Okay, so right now it's ranked number 7, and a big reason why is because it is now accepted by institutions across the world, and Bitcoin is starting to become mainstream. And most of these companies that you see here in this ranking board, including Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, has actually already been a part of crypto. So in the very near future, just maybe by the end of the year, you'll see almost all of these companies having at least one crypto product. So the reason why I'm sharing this news with everybody here is to assure everyone, yes, you pick the right industry, you pick the right market. And the reason that you are here with us in this call means you have also picked the right team to follow. Okay, so the next news is that Bitcoin price is still likely to pump because of pretty incompetent financial decisions made by the president of the US. So as we all know, Trump has implemented some tariffs with the intention to lower the US debt and to stabilize the US economy. But this has failed after they released the previous total spending by the US economy, because the spending has actually gone up by 154 billion more compared to 2024. So if you look at the chart on the right, that actually compares the average spending, the total spending of the US economy every year. So 2023, 2024, and now 2025. So this means that usually when we are looking at spending numbers on the financial side, when we are looking at the economy, this is from the finance side of things. We usually look at spending to see whether the government is borrowing funds or they are cutting down on borrowing. So what this chart tells us is that the US economy is set to borrow more money. And if you've been to any of my previous classes, you'll know about money supply. So this means money supply is about to increase even further. So again, I mentioned if you have ever been to my previous Zooms, I'll talk about this thing called the M2 money supply and also M1 and M3. So M2 money supply means how much money basically people have on their hands to invest. And this number is about to go even higher because of the increase in debt. Okay, so when the money supply increases means that there's more spending happening across all boards, not just with consumer goods, but also stocks and also crypto. Okay, so this is just a flashback from the past because I have shared this many, many times before. So I'll move on quickly. Okay, so let's look at a then versus now comparison. So on the left, if you've been to at least 2 or 3 of my classes, I've brought this up many times. So previously, when Bitcoin was still in 40K, 50K levels, I told everyone that the prediction is basically gonna go past 70K and maybe even 100K. So now again, here's the next prediction that we've made that has basically followed according to our analysis. When the price was 80K, we tell everyone that in about 50 days, 50 to 60 days, the price will follow the money supply, and it did. So right now, Bitcoin is actually about $96,000. Yep. So there is a 57 days lag by using this indicator. And of course, there's a lot of indicators that tell us the direction of the market. This is just one of them. So in 57 days time, if you look on the right side of the chart here, we are actually set to go well above $120,000. And it is not a very far stretch. This is very much possible. So I think everyone has already understood that this industry is no longer a scam. It's no longer just a virtual currency. So I think this job of spreading the word of crypto across the world and building a bigger team is no longer that big of a challenge anymore. It should become easier and easier. Okay, so there's no more excuses that crypto is a mysterious object, that is difficult to build a team and we need more bonuses and all that. Because now even the world news is, in your favor. So things will get easier for you. Okay, so now let's talk about the centralized exchange that we are all very excited about. So there's actually a lot of movements that the community don't see. You must be wondering what is GC doing? What is LA doing? There's actually a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes. So we are actually, for the past few months, in a very massive process of taking over a market, taking over a community, and also taking over several companies, so to say. So we are very happy to be able to announce this publicly that we have successfully completed the process and now we are ready to launch the centralized exchange. So just before I move on to the centralized exchange part, I want everyone to remember that we are a community first. So we are very different from other projects out there. We are very different from other exchanges. So other exchanges, whether it's a blockchain or it's an exchange or it's a gaming app, they usually start off first with a product. But for M3, we start off every single one of our initiatives, we start it off first with a community. So when we launch something, we are very careful in our decision making. We make sure that we are able to fully utilize a single product before we actually bring it into our ecosystem. So for example, we launched an exchange because there was a necessity. We needed this in order to maintain a high profit level because as LA have mentioned, we are actually giving a lot of money away and a lot of users away to other exchanges. And the reason why we are building towards this direction is so that we are able to maintain our ecosystem strength and our ecosystem numbers within M3DAO. Yes, so when we are launching, whether it's a blockchain or an exchange, these both actually empower M3 to do better, and that actually keeps our funds and our monies centralized into one ecosystem instead of us sending away people to join another project, join another exchange. So why invest in an exchange now? There's so many other things to invest. Why did we choose an exchange? So our previous speaker has already shared with you some of the core pointers, which is, we are basically sending people to other exchanges and bringing volume to others. But what we want to do is to keep the volume to ourselves and to make sure our users remain here. That's the first biggest reason. And now, for some of the secondary reasons is actually because of the current financial environment that we are in right now. Oh, the global crypto exchange market is actually projected to hit 150 billion in a couple of years' time in 2030. And every year it's growing at a rate of 24%. Oh, when we are doing traditional investing, any number above 15% is actually already a very good investment. So if we look at the numbers just from analysis and forecasting, 24% is very, very much attractive to us. And second, there's also a rising crypto ownership. As we all know, Bitcoin is being more mainstream. There's a lot of people buying into Bitcoin now. So that means that users that will come into crypto is increasing as well.
对，
Oh, in the first quarter of 2025, it actually confirms our trend. It's basically like a nail in the coffin, but in a good way. The spot trading volume actually reached 2 trillion in the first quarter, which is a 60% increase from last year. And the person we have to thank for this is the new US President, Donald Trump. And even though he's making very bad financial decisions and economical decisions, but he is doing very good. He's providing a very good impact to the crypto industry. Okay, next. So now let's talk about the market opportunity and product market fit in this current financial environment. Okay, so actually, Binance, being one of the biggest players, actually only take about 36% of the entire market share in this crypto exchange market. And the other tier ones actually only take a much smaller percentage. So if you notice that most of these tier one exchanges is only a very small, like not even 20% of Binance's volume. And in this tier one market share portion, it's actually still smaller than another category of exchanges, which is the emerging exchanges. And if we were to launch an exchange now, we actually fall under emerging exchanges. So this is because this market is huge. There's a lot of opportunities here, and in this category, there's more than 10,000 exchanges active. E1, yes, category. Most of these exchanges service only a very small amount of people, whether it is the very high net worth individuals or whether it's just to service their already existing clienteles. So we actually fall under this category because we already have a community and we are launching to only service our group initially. So if you notice, all of these exchanges, they are active and still running despite being such a small exchange. And they don't even make it to the top hundreds or not even the top 200s. And that is because the exchange business in itself is very, very profitable. And you can sustain an exchange operational fees and also make some money out of that just with only like a couple thousand of users. So let's take a look at this picture to visualize what I just shared with you all. So Binance is 36% of the market share. And if you look at the trading volume, the distance from the number one exchange and the number two exchange is huge. So that shows that actually crypto right now is still under kind of a semi monopoly structure, whereas the top player takes up most of the trading volume. So if you look at the number 2 spot to number 10 spot, these exchanges change quite rapidly. Sometimes we see them in the top 10, sometimes they're in the top 20, 30. That is because this market generally is quite small, and the amount of users that they have is actually just marginally more than the others. So the space for that we have to actually enter the top 10 is relatively easy. And one of the biggest reasons is that all of these exchanges that you see here, they don't actually have a community like ours. We are considered like an offline community with real engagement. But these exchanges, all they have is probably online communities that maybe have a purchasing power of less than 10 USD. So just to put it into perspective for you, we have over 200,000 members, and it's safe to say that 200,000 members, every single one of you have purchased at least 100 USDT worth of products, which means that your purchasing power is at the minimum $100. So actually the amount of volume and the amount of funds that we bring to the table is equal to an exchange with about 20 million users. So just based on purchasing power alone, that immediately slots us into the top 50 at this current state. And we are still at the beginning of our journey. Okay, moving on. So now I'm going to talk to everyone about why exchanges dominate crypto. So let's look at the picture here. And exchanges actually fall under the category of platform. And coincidentally, DAOs and communities are also considered platforms. So let's talk about two situations. On the left is bad, on the right is good. So let's look at market uncertainty. When stock markets were crashing after Trump announced the taxes and tariffs, what happened?
Okay.
Stocks crashed, but Bitcoin pumped or
所以
maintained. So why is this happening? Is because after you sell your stocks from fear, out of fear, you're selling your stocks. Where does your money go? Some people buy into real estate, but a majority of people actually bought into Bitcoin. So in that case, what do you need?
所以
You
大家
need an exchange.
需要一个交易所。
So on the right side, when there's a thriving market, when there's a stock market pump, when crypto is finally legalized and there's mass adoption, where do people go to buy Bitcoin? They go to an exchange. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is every user starts and stays in crypto through an exchange. So let's put it into perspective. You're a leader. You go out there onto the open market and you pull someone in that's completely new. What is the first step you do?
Good.
You get them to buy crypto. So mass adoption is increasing as we speak. There's more and more people coming into crypto. So these kinds of occurrences are quite common. People come in for the first time, they go to an exchange, they buy crypto. So exchanges earn from every single transaction that users make. So when there are more users, it means that they are making more money. And exchanges actually do not depend on projects. It's actually the other way around. Projects depend on exchanges to, you know, to develop their projects. So again, exchanges are the pole booths of crypto. It's the entry point and it's the exit point. So in order to make the most amount of money, it's good to be involved in this business. Okay. So again, exchanges monetize trading. So there's a lot of different types of trading. There's also day trading, but generally it means the exchange of tokens. So in this picture here, I won't go through it all one by one, but just take a look at the different ways an exchange can make money. And as an investor, you are investing in a company and you want to invest in a company that makes you money. So no matter what the market condition is, whether it's a bullish market or a bearish market, the exchange still makes money. Because when there's a bullish market, people come in to buy. When there's a bearish market, people sell. And in the process, there's always fees involved.
No,
So whether it's a good market or bad market, you're still gonna remain profitable. Okay. So they are also the revenue leaders in this industry. So I'm sure you have heard of many projects out there with the token price pumping. But most of these projects don't actually make a profit.
sorry, GC, come again.
Okay, let me repeat. So exchanges are the revenue leaders in this industry. And most projects that you see out there, they are making money through the token price. Get users in, sell the tokens to them. But exchanges don't. They actually have a real working revenue model which generates an income. And exchange tokens, the successful exchanges have historically delivered 100 times to even 1,000 times returns. This is just in token alone. And that's because these tokens come with real utility. There's a real reason why you want to buy these tokens. And there's also a real use case, even outside of the exchange. And lastly, most exchange tokens come with a burning mechanism. That's the reason why there's always growth. So Binance has reported an income of 16.8 billion just from their exchange business alone in 2024. So Binance basically services the retail traders in the world. So with the next exchange, Coinbase, this is an exchange that services the institutional level players. So you can see that if you were to combine these two markets together, you can achieve actually a revenue of over $20 billion. And in entry DAO, we actually have institutional partners and we also have retail users. So we are taking a piece of the pie in two of the main markets in the exchange business. Oh, on the third side, this is the what we call a retail regular exchange like Bybit. And this is what we can expect if we were to get to that level of Bybit. And that is about 269.5 million a year. So in this year, from the coming year after we've launched the exchange, we will be expecting about 200 million in revenue as well.
Sorry, 100 million?
200 million. That's because we have both retail and institutional traders with us. So you can see that choosing an exchange to invest is actually quite an obvious choice to us. And the reason why we took so long to make this decision is because we are waiting for the numbers to be at the right size. We don't want to be investing in a business that lose us money. Okay. So exchange tokens are actually amongst the most powerful tokens in crypto as well. So you can also look forward to the exchange token which will come in the future. Okay. So with the MEX that's coming up, which is basically Mars Exchange or Entry Exchange, whichever you like to call it, we have quite a few news to share. So the first one being that there's an official launch that's coming up. So within this month, you'll see the exchange going live. And second, right from the launch, right after the launch of our exchange, we will immediately be in a direct collaboration with one of the top 5 exchanges. And at the very last point that I'm very excited to share is that with the launch of this exchange, there will be included with our massive market takeover in Asia. We have completed a massive market takeover over the past few months. So very, very soon, you'll see that not only will the numbers of entry DAO members increase, but this increase in numbers will flow directly into our exchange. Or maybe some of you, if you're out there in the market, you might hear of this news, or you might have seen me involved in some of these other projects. But this is all in effort to develop the market for our exchange. So I'm also very happy to share that this is happening. So if anyone has any questions, I hope that this answers that, because I hear that sometimes people are asking me, have I moved on to another project or have I moved on to another place? So actually, no. The reason that I'm appearing in some of these places is because we are building our exchange. So there is going to be a promotion launch that's gonna happen, and earlier LA actually shared a little bit about this. So in the interest of time, I won't be sharing too much about this, but if you are interested to take part in the launch that will happen within the next few days, or if I'm not wrong, it's gonna happen tomorrow, please reach out to the M3 team or your uplines. So this whitelist is probably going to be one of the biggest one in our history. So I do encourage people that are able to participate, do take a good look at this, because this opportunity is really one in 100 projects probably. And if you are in the investment circle, you'll realize that actually there's no seed rounds for exchanges. You don't see investment opportunities for exchanges in general across the board. So when Binance launch, BitGet, OKX or Bybit, you don't actually have the opportunity to take part in the token before it's launched. So I just want to stress that this is a really good and really attractive opportunity.
Right.
Okay, so you heard it here first, and please be prepared. And don't say that we have not informed you of the launch, because this will be the biggest one. And just mark my words, this will be the biggest launch that we are gonna bring to you. Okay, and I believe most of you that have participated in our whitelist before, most of you made money. Those that didn't sell, I think even if you didn't sell, the tokens still are in at least 4 or 5x or 10x price even. So most of our whitelist is quite profitable. And this will be, at least for this year, the only exchange that we'll be getting involved with.
Exchange.
Okay, so enough about the exchange. Now let's talk about our chain. And this is also going to be covered by our next speaker as well.
Hello guys, how are you?
Oh, wait, sorry, Jeremy, I'm actually not done yet. Sorry, I was just
Oh, sorry. I'm very sorry.
Give me like 5 minutes, okay? 5 to 10 minutes. I'll finish up right here. Okay, so that was actually one of our members from our foundation, and he's actually going to be one of the representatives for the project going forward as well. So the layer 2 chain, of course, is called MarsChain, and everyone here has also taken part of this launch, and I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is just some context before the next speaker, of course. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to stress with everyone that when we build something like a chain or an exchange, we are actually building things above, like a cut above the rest. We are not like just any normal project. So let me finish it, because this is just a very simple piece of content. So we are the chain. This Mars chain is the chain for the most influential DAO, and that's what we aim to become, right? The most influential investment DAO. So when we are building this chain, we are actually not chasing the hype. We are building this because we need a chain to facilitate the growth of our project. And we did not launch this chain without a community. Those of you here, those of you that don't know, we have been building for a year, and we spent a year building a community, not just empty marketing. Mars Chain began with users and leaders who believe in the vision. And believe it or not, if the users and the leaders did not like the idea, we would not launch the chain. And we work with real leaders and not influencers or airdrop hunters. So our chain is actually funded by people with real purchasing power and real influence. And when we aim high, for example, when we talk about the exchange or any of the white list, we aim high. we don't just talk about goals and not achieve it. We actually walk the talk. So every single ecosystem tokens that launched with M3DAO actually was listed on multiple exchanges, just like we promised. And it all has multiple live products, just like we promised. So all of this is launched even before the chain is live. So you know that even after the chain goes live, there will already be projects that's coming in directly, and there is plenty and plenty of more projects and partners that we have yet to announce. So we are proving that we deliver first before we sell you the dream. And when we talk about building such a big project, it is not possible without a community, and it's not possible if we do not provide our community with real world utility. And you see, we have invested in luxury villas in Phuket, in Thailand. We have invested in gold mines. We have invested in travel projects, travel partners, and we've worked with solution providers. Every single part of our project, we invest with the thought of first being able to generate activity, engagement, and also value for our M3DAO members. So we are not trying to be the next exchange or the next blockchain. We are actually building towards a new standard. We want to be the next standard of projects in Web3. Okay.
Okay. All right. So GC, do you still have anything to share?
Okay. Right. So let's not do the translation for the last part, because I feel like the translation kind of messes up with the flow. Okay. So let me finish first, and then we can do the translation after. Okay.
Okay.
So now we are actually stepping into the next part of the market right now. And in the past, we have always been dominated by VCs, dominated by institutions that have money, right? So GC Capital being a VC, why did we choose to go the route of community? Why did we choose to connect with everyone on the ground? We don't have to do that, honestly. We can stay in the back, invest in the seed rounds, and then get our money when the time comes. But we are not doing that because we need to catch up with the times. And right now, this is the current situation of the crypto investment industry. If you look at this picture, this is a picture of a whale being eaten by smaller fishes. And this is exactly what is happening right now. In this industry, a lot of VCs and institutions are losing money in investment rounds because there is cannibalizing that is happening. VCs undercut each other, and they basically only the ones that are at the very the last one to invest basically makes the most money, and it's becoming a very unfair industry. So who are the ones actually making money in this industry now? It's actually the workers, the people on the ground building that are fast enough to catch on to a trend. And this includes us. This includes DAO, and it includes community members, includes traders. These are the people who will be dominating crypto in this season. All right. So we are actually entering a new era of Bitcoin, a new era of Web3 right now, and we are at the right place right now. So especially with the launch of the exchange and the launch of the chain, we should all be very happy that we are all stuck together, 207,000 of us stuck in one place together. We are probably one of the strongest communities alive right now. Even after a year, we did not crash, we did not fail. And instead, we have been bringing projects after projects to you, and each of them being profitable. So we are maintaining our goal and sticking to our vision to deliver the best product.
So GC just disconnected. All right. But I believe that GC already shared a lot regarding the Mars exchange and also regarding the layer 2 chain. Why are we building the layer 2 chain, and also the purpose of actually having an exchange? So you can see that what we did in M3 here, we are not chasing the hype, but what we are actually doing is we are building something that currently now it's a need. It's actually a need from our community, you see. So That's the reason why we built the chain itself, is because we are utilizing other public chain. So why not? We can share all this profit that is actually generating from the chain itself to our community. The second one, and you can see that what GC just shared with us, the reason why we wanted to have an exchange is not because, oh, because other people have it, so we need to have it, but more towards we ourselves and all our community members need an exchange to actually buy tokens or even to sell tokens. Plus, we do have retail, secondary market, on-ground community members rather than just online community members that never see their face before. Plus, we do have institutional investors as well. So that's each and every step that M3DAO and all our core team have been working tirelessly day and night to actually build up the DAO and also all this infrastructure and the ecosystem around the DAO itself. So thank you so much, GC, for sharing with us on why do we need an exchange. And this one key point I take out from GC's presentation, I'm not sure whether you guys hear it clearly or not. So he did mention one thing. You can't have sit round on an exchange native tokens. Never. You never see any exchange launch their sit round token on any launchpad, no matter on Binance launchpad or any launchpad that's in the market. This is unseen of. And you guys are super duper lucky because you guys are in M3DAO. That's the reason why now you have a chance to be the partner of Mars Exchange and at the same time to own the MEX Mars Exchange token at the sit round price. Congratulations. And please, let's all of us build together, build the DAO as large as possible, at the same time propel our exchange to become the top 10 or even the top 5 in the world.